Hello everyone, this is Paul from DLT Trading, and we're taking another look at the Hinderer XM-18 Slipjoint. There's a couple things I neglected on the first video that I just wanted to do a quick follow-up for. First things first, I'm not based off some of the feedback and emails that we'd received, I'd assumed everyone knew what a slipjoint was, but that does not seem to be the case. So a slipjoint is a traditional style folding knife that does not have a locking mechanism. You might ask yourself, well, what would I want that for? Several different reasons. It's very traditional. Some people like the old school style action, and in this case it'd be old school mixed with more modern styling from a Hinderer knife. And in some places it's legal reasons. You cannot own a locking knife. Not the case in most US places, but it is something that people are looking for, is a more modern knife that doesn't have a lock to it. So the blade just moves kind of freely. It does have some lock up, so it's not just going to fall open, but so it will take some pressure, but there's no traditional locking mechanism, whether it's a liner lock or a frame lock being most of the Hinderers, or a lock back. So there's no lock on this knife. The other question that I really neglected is a half stop. So I've been telling people it's kind of a soft half stop, so it'll distinctly stops here, then you have to go the rest of the way. So then when you open it, it's got a little bit of stop there, then forward. So when you compare that to this Great Eastern knife that has a very, this is a standard half stop. So you open it, and it's very distinctly direct at this 90-degree angle. You open it the rest of the way. Closing, stops there, then closed. And this is a two-blade example, so both the blades are like that. Come half, rest of the way, half, then closed. So a lot of people like that hard half stop. There's some traditional knives out there that have none of that. And a Great Eastern, for example, has a pretty hefty back spring, so it is very nice to have that half stop, because if it didn't have that, you can close it and it can get a little unsafe. So some traditional knives out there that have a heavy back spring, that don't have a half stop, you really need to pay attention to what you're doing. Kind of like a lot of lock back knives, like a Buck 110 for example. It will, there's no half stop. That is a locking knife, so typically your hand is out of the way, but the blade does come down. So it's the same case for some traditional knives. They have a heavy back spring. It can be, you just need to be careful. So it'll come half, then the rest of the way. So I've been telling people a soft half stop, but I really don't know a better term for it, so I figured in video it'd be easier to demonstrate. So half and closed. The other thing is the thickness. So with a pair of calipers here, thickness on this is right at basically at 400 thousandths. So how does that compare? So this is the XM-18 Slipjoint, XM-18 3-inch version. So the best comparison. So if you're looking at the standard 3-inch XM-18 frame lock, you're at basically 0.425. I mean, depending on how you wiggle it, but right in there. So this is a little bit thicker, a little bit trimmer. So size-wise in comparison, nearly identical, with the exception of, of some of the functions to it, frame lock, slip joint. But size-wise, that's how it's gonna stack up. If you guys have any questions or something that I missed that I should have done on the first video or this video, please let me know. I'd be happy to do another follow-up, but that covers kind of the big three questions or confusions for some people. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you next time.